This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, Kiran, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing you good.
Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
I'm having a bit of trouble seeing you, my friend.
1 sec. Okay, so I'll have to rejoin because I have to allow access on the app itself. So I'll have to rejoin the call, okay?
No worries there. All good.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, can finally see you. How are you, my friend?
How you doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Do you mind if we jump straight into things here?
Just 1 sec. Let me just get my headset because the audio isn't that great.
Okay. Is it clear? Can you hear me?
1 sec. Let me just connect my headset.
Cool.
All right.
All good. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Can you say something? Because it sounded a bit muffled.
Yeah.
I can't hear you now. The sound's gone a bit wonky. Okay. Can you hear me? Is everything clear on your end?
It's a little bit distorted. I'm not sure why.
Okay, your voice is coming across clear, but is my voice coming across as clear?
No, you're a bit distorted. You hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me clearly? Or no?
Okay, I'm hearing you clear. I'm hearing you clearly now.
Okay, no worries there. So yeah, do you mind if we jump into things there?
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that little delay there.
No worries, it's fine. These things happen. So yeah, what motivated you to book the call with us then?
Well, I mean, looking for other streams of income and, eventually to not be working for someone all my life and, just try to figure out and explore different business opportunities.
Okay, so another source of income. Why is that important to you right now?
Why is it?
Yeah, why now?
I mean, in life you want to achieve different things, and I feel like this is part of something that I want to achieve in my life. To kind of successfully own my own business.
Okay, and have
Yeah.
you been researching other business models, or have you 100% decided that Amazon FBA is the route that you want to take?
I mean, I've been like checking around different ideas, different things, and I feel like, well, I've been following that for some time, Just like looking at what he does, some of his videos and that kind of thing, and I think based on how he's brought it across in layman terms, very simple, easy to understand. I feel like I would give it a shot.
Okay, cool. So in terms of other things you've been looking at, what other business models have you been looking at, if any?
Like maybe doing like events and that type of thing,
When it comes to making money
like event
online.
or online. I actually haven't really explored much other options online.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah,
been Amazon FBA.
yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like you would like to do more research, or do you feel like it's going to be a better use of your time to just stick to Amazon FBA and scale up with that?
I think I wanna stick with Amazon SPA and scale up with that.
Okay. No worries, that makes sense. So yeah, were you able to go through the entire video that should have been sent to you before the call here today?
So I was able to only go through a part of it because I was at work. I literally just got home like less than 5 minutes ago. So I
Okay.
didn't get to go through the entire video. Like just on my break, I just kind of like looked at, like just kind of browse it through a little bit.
Okay. And from what you did see, did you find it helpful?
Yeah, it was helpful. Yeah, it was helpful.
Okay.
Um,
And I guess, was there anything you would have liked to have been addressed in a bit more detail?
well, tell me more about the course, like in detail, like what you guys would be providing, what is all fully required of me, and just moving forward, kind of thing.
Okay, no worries there. In terms of the way our service works, I'll give you the full breakdown
Hmm.
in a bit here, but in terms of the requirements that we're going to need from you, you need at least 2 hours a day to put into this. That's what we've
Hmm.
seen our most successful students put in to get the results you would have seen. So 2 hours a day at a minimum. Is that something you're comfortably able to do right now?
Yeah,
Okay, and is that something you'd be able to do for the rest of October, November, December, January? If you're not going on holiday and stuff,
definitely.
things are going to come up, that's going to stop you from putting that time in.
Nah, no issues.
Okay, cool. Was it also made clear to you in terms of the investment required to do this?
Hmm.
So was it made clear or no?
No, no, no. Could you
Okay, cool.
like
So yeah, I take it you're in America right now, is that correct?
in Canada?
In Canada, okay. So let me just break down the numbers for you in terms of the Canadian dollar. So 105 GBP to CAD. So yeah, you're going to need $1,000 for stock as a minimum, and for our services, it's going to be roughly $1,800 Canadian. So you're looking at a $2,800 decision here, if everything aligns. Now, is
Okay.
that something you're able to do right now? It's not going to put you in a bad spot financially.
No, that should be fine. Should be fine. So right now it's 1,800 for the course, and then
For
a
our services,
thousand
yes.
in stock.
For
Yeah.
stock, it's a minimum $1,000. Just to make
Right.
sure that you're not going to start off with your funds being too low and it's going to be difficult for you to negotiate with suppliers. £1,000 is that sweet spot to start off. So
So
is
we're
that something?
talking £1,000, £1,000, or 1,000 Canadian. I just want to make
A
sure I'm
thousand
taking notes.
Canadian dollars, yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's take a little notes here.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
So does that fit into your budget before we move on here?
Yeah, we're okay with that.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, the majority of people that I do speak to on these calls, they do fall into one of three categories. Just want to work out which one that you fall into, so I know how to best direct our call here today. So you've got number
Hmm.
one, people that are researching other Amazon FBA companies, and they're pretty much here to waste everyone's time. You've got number two, people that have a spouse or a business partner that they make decisions with, and unfortunately they can't be here on the call today. And you've got number three, people that are here to simply make a decision by themselves if everything checks out. So out of those three options there, which one do you feel like you fall into?
Number three.
Number three. No worries there. So yeah, I'm just so I know how our services are going to best sort of like help you here. I know you mentioned you were
Yeah.
looking for guidance, but is there anything specific you're hoping we could guide you on that you're unable to do yourself right now?
So I mean, like in terms of like the product research itself, I feel like, well, I don't know, for me, like, I just kind of like try to like look for products. I followed some of like the videos and, like just some of the steps. Like this is like maybe like some months ago. This wasn't right now. And I tried to like, dip a little bit into it, try to find like a product, but I feel like I wasn't really successful in finding a product. One of my main issues that I encountered is that most of the products that I've looked at, Amazon is selling them, like they're selling them. And I know that
Yeah.
based on, well, some of the information that was disseminated from the videos, that's it. You know, it's never really a good idea to compete against Amazon because they're obviously
The
buying,
Amazon, yeah.
they're Amazon, right? So, I mean, that was like, I kept running into that issue, and then I just felt kind of stuck, and I just left it alone for a while,
Okay. And
you know.
I guess has that always been an issue for you then, finding the right products and researching them?
Yes. Well, well, that's the first step, right?
Yes.
Going into it, that's like the first step, trying to like find after deciding how much you want to invest or whatever, finding a good product, and then, well, you go from there, trying to like figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So
So
ideally,
I
how
no
do you, sorry?
no, so I want to know, like, like how now your service that you're providing would, assist me along the way.
Absolutely.
You know,
I'll make sure we go through that as well. So in terms of the product research phase, but ideally, what kind of support would you want from us when it comes to product research specifically? I'll make sure that I'll go into detail there to make sure there is going to be an alignment here.
well, so the thing is, I'm new to it, right? I'm completely new. I explained to you what some of my challenges were. So I was basically stuck at that point, and I just left it alone. So, for me, it's like, getting over these little hurdles. And well, that was my first hurdle in terms of finding a product, or a good product, or what may be considered a good product. Um, like, like how do you guys, like, provide assistance if you encounter, if a client or a customer encounters an issue like this?
Got it. No worries. I'll make sure that we address that. But before we sort of get into things, was it made clear to you in terms of how our guarantee works?
I think, okay, so I believe from the messages, you correct me if I'm wrong. Um, so you pay, I believe, the course fee, which is 1,800 here, the initial course fee, right? I think it's what, 19 something for the entire course, but you pay 997 pounds first. You start your investment, and then I think it's after you hit 10K or something like that.
That's
You
how our
do pay.
service works. So yeah, once you hit 10,000 in sales, then you can upgrade to our higher tier service to get more sort of to do this in a more advanced sort of way. But in terms of our guarantee, it's quite simple. So if you haven't hit $100,000 in sales after 12 months of working with us, we refund your entire investment. But that's based on an action-based guarantee where you have to have contacted at least 100 suppliers and you have to have tested at least 50 products within that 12-month time frame. If you've done that but haven't gotten to 100,000 in sales after 12 months, then we refund your entire investment back to the bank account that you initially invested into our services in the first place. So when it comes to our guarantee, is that clear to you?
Okay, so you're saying, if in 1 year
Yep.
you don't hit 100K until after doing the action requirements, which is to the action requirements you said was to reach out to 100 plus suppliers and tested like 50 plus products in a year.
Yeah. So
Then
contact at least 100 suppliers and test at least 50 products within 12 months. If you've done that but haven't gotten to 100,000 in sales, then we've obviously done something wrong and we refund your entire investment. That's how it works. It's a very simple guarantee. It would be outlined in the agreement that we would sign before we get started with each other, just to make sure we're on the same page here. So before we move on, do you have any questions on our guarantee?
okay, so the action requirements itself, right? How do we log that okay, over 100,000, 100 suppliers was contacted. What is it, via emails that we working with?
So
How are we like
with
checking these things?
So you'll be going through each week, you'll be filling in a log saying you contacted X or Z supplier, you went through a certain conversation. You'll log it in. We'll give you the the documents you need to write everything down, just to make sure that you're keeping accountable and to make sure that
Okay.
you're going to be motivated to keep going, because that's important here. But once everything is done after a year, if the results and the numbers aren't there financially, then of course then it's time for us to look at everything that you've done in the past 12 months and to see if a refund is going to be warranted. But if you put in the work based on what our students have achieved, and if you take advantage of all the support that we're going to give you, it's going to be very difficult for you to not hit 100,000 in sales after 12 months of doing this consistently. Is that clear to you?
Yeah, okay. I understand the guarantee.
Yeah, cool. So yeah,
Just a question though. Just a question. So the forms and whatnot that will be given out. However, if it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, or whatever, to fill out, um, that's for what, the period of 1 year?
yes,
Oh, that's
12 months. So yeah, after 12 months, if you still feel like you'd like to be a part of our services, you would be able to renew your sort of your membership with us. But after a year of doing this, after you've gotten to 100,000 in sales, the use case for our services, it does go down quite a bit. Because if you've gotten from beginner stage to business owner, you already know what to do at that point there to get to the next stage. It's just a case of investing more money into stock and scaling your business that way. So you can continue to use our service if you want, if you see if there's going to be a need behind it. But by that point there, after you've made 100,000 in sales, to get to 2, 3, 400,000 in sales within the next 12 months after that, it's just a case of like scaling down more into stock, buying more stock, negotiating better discounts, improving your margins, so you can start to take money out of your business and start improving your life. That's how it goes after the sort of 12 months there. Our services, the reason why most people join us is to go from their full-time job to being able to do this full-time in terms of Amazon FBA. It's that transition period where we hold their hand and make sure that they can go through all the sort of the teething process of being a new business owner, to the point where they can do this self-sufficiently by themselves. And at that point there, the need for us, it goes down quite a bit, as you would know what to do at that point there. So I know that I
okay.
went on for a bit there, but does everything make sense to you?
Yeah, I understand what you said there. But just a question, like moving into the future, what do you think? How sustainable is this business?
Okay, so you can see high streets are closing down, everything's moving online. I mean, you are aware of that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
so right now, Amazon is growing year on year. It was saturated when Jack started, it was saturated 5 years before Jack started. It's always going to be saturated. However, as time goes on, more and more people are using Amazon, more and more brands and more companies want their products to be on Amazon. So there's always going to be a use case for Amazon. You're seeing with TikTok now as well. There are brands taking their content and all the call to action. It's always go to Amazon. So Amazon's always going to be there. It's always going to be the number one sort of platform where people are going to search products and look to buy. And that's the benefit behind Amazon FBA here. You're selling on the most popular platform, a trillion-dollar company, multi-trillion-dollar company, and it's just a case of making sure you can find the right products and list them before anyone else does. And that's what we ultimately teach you how to do. Is that clear?
Okay, so just a little idea of the breakdown of how the course is gonna go. Can you just give me a little rundown of how it's gonna go?
In terms of our services?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll share my screen in a second, but there's a few reasons as to why this wouldn't be a good fit. I just want to go through that first, and if we've gone through that, then I'll be happy to share my screen and give you the full breakdown. Now, I know I mentioned before, time was a factor as well. That's one thing. Another reason why this might not be a good fit is I'm not sure if you've considered this, but there's tons of people that would teach you how to do Amazon FBA, and they're based in Canada. They're based in America. Have you considered going through with their services, or have you made up your mind in terms of
I I
prioritizing
I
that?
didn't I didn't hear that last part you said.
So yeah, there's tons of people that would mentor you in terms of Amazon FBA, and they're based from Canada. They're based in America. Have you considered like researching their services, or have you made up your mind in terms of JATS? Because seeing as we are from the UK.
No, I actually, so I've kind of, so the thing is like, I just feel like, how to say it? I've seen other people and their services that they offer and stuff like that, but sometimes you just don't know how to trust them. Even me going with that is also a risk. It is a risk. I
Yeah.
do, I don't know, but I just feel like I just felt like like there was a lot more genuinity. Just like looking at his videos, seeing how he dealt with things. Um, you know, some things speak out differently to you, and I think that's what it was for me.
Okay. No worries
So,
there.
question. So, seeing that you guys operate out of the UK, right?
Yeah.
You're part of his team, I
Yes,
assume,
I'm
right?
part of the team. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know you guys would provide like a list of suppliers and whatever the case may be. I believe that was part of it, no?
So when it comes to a list of suppliers, that's not something that we would do. The reason why we don't do that is because everyone would start using the same suppliers, everyone would start selling the same products, and then no one would have an edge. Everyone would take the prices lower, and no one would make any money. What we do, we teach you how to find the right suppliers for you personally when it comes to the products that you've researched, so you can build your own edge as you do this. We would give you all the systems, all the best practices, and it's just a case of you being able to follow our instructions and execute. That's how it works. I'll break it down on my screen. But before that, does that sort of like answer your question? Does that make sense to you?
Okay, so you don't provide a list, but you provide a methodology
Yes.
in how
So
to
because everyone's
locate
going to
these.
sell different products, everyone's going to research different products. We don't want to get into the position where everyone's using the same supplier, because then everyone starts selling the same products, and that means no one has an edge then. Make sure that doesn't happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand, yeah.
Okay. Another reason why this wouldn't be a good fit is because there's a lack of motivation. And what I mean by that is a lot of people do quit after 30 to 60 days once the realities of being a business owner they kick in and they realize this is hard, even after the support that we give them. So my question to you is, what even motivates you to go through all the pain, the suffering, the headaches, the uncertainty of building a successful Amazon FBA business in the first place?
What? No,
What
what was the
motivates
question?
you?
Well, no, well, like that's basically the first question you asked me when we entered. Like, what motivated me to jump on the
Yes, I know
call?
you mentioned you're looking to get a new income stream, but what's the actual motivation behind that? Because we've had people coming into this where their dad's been diagnosed with cancer, there's no other income stream coming into the house, and they've got no choice but to make this work. We've had people come into this where English isn't their first language, they're immigrants, they have those sorts of qualifications, they've got no choice but to make this work. And that's why they're motivated. So for you,
Okay,
why are you
okay,
motivated to do
okay.
this?
More like, financial stability and even to help my family back home
Family back home.
also. Yeah.
So whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
again,
I live in Canada now.
okay, cool, no worries.
Yeah.
But just to make sure we're on the same page, in the first year of doing this, you're not going to be taking money out of the business. You're going to be reinvesting the
No.
profit back in. You are aware of that, correct?
Yes. Correct.
So yeah, year one of doing this is building the foundations for year two, three, four, and five. That's how it
Going
works.
forward. Yeah.
It's not a get rich quick scheme where you get to quit your
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
this time tomorrow. You're aware.
No. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, I totally understand that, and I'm on board with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the last reason why this wouldn't be a good fit is because you've never run a business before, you've never invested into a mentor before. So what we find sometimes when it comes to people that haven't invested into a mentor before, they get scared when it comes to processing the investment. So when they get scared when it comes to handling invoices, there's a bit of resistance there because they've never done this before. So do you think fear might play a deciding factor in your decision-making process?
In terms of like doing transactions for my
Yes, in
business.
terms of getting started with us, in terms of handling invoices, in terms of being an actual business owner, do you think fear would?
No, definitely
Okay,
not.
and why do you feel like it wouldn't?
I mean, in life, you have to understand certain things in life. I mean, no risk, no reward, right? That's
Okay,
what it is.
no worries. So yeah, based on that, I'd be happy to share my screen and give you the breakdown. Do you have a pen and paper to take notes with?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
This
Let
is this also being recorded?
Yes, it's recorded.
Okay, would you be able
Yeah,
to
just for
provide
training and quality purposes. Sorry.
just in case that I miss anything, would it be provided to me just to like rewatch, like just
Okay,
to
so
like so
as I mentioned before, you'd get a contract outlining everything that's going to be discussed here today in terms of our service, our deliverables, how the guarantee works. Everything's going to be in a contract for you to go through. Um,
okay,
everything. Is that clear?
okay.
We can also send you the video as well, but everything in a document is it's just way easier.
Okay.
Cool, nice. So yeah, let me just share my screen here. Do 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 do. So let me share.
There's a question. How long have you been on board with Jats and stuff with this business?
So I've been with Jats for roughly 3 to 4 weeks. Jats hired me because we've had a lot of people come through YouTube and Instagram looking to learn about Amazon FBA, use our services. But the majority of people that do get on these calls, they're extremely unqualified. They shouldn't be running online businesses because this isn't a priority for them and because they don't understand how much work it takes to be a successful business owner. That's why I'm
Right.
here to filter out all the people that shouldn't be doing this, point them in the right direction. Anyone that should be doing this gets the full breakdown. Okay,
Good. Yeah, understood.
cool. So yeah, can you see my screen here?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, in order for us to help you make your first 100,000 in sales within the next 12 months, there's 4 steps we're going to take here. So first is your initial setup. Then we're going to help you with product research. Then we're going to help you find the right suppliers, and then we're going to help you scale your business for the years to come. So when it comes to the 4 steps here, is everything clear to you?
So setup, right. So initial setup would be basically setting up the account, the profile, that kind of thing.
Yes. So when it comes
Um,
to the initial setup, so step one here, we're going to help you set up your wholesale company. So within Canada, your business bank account, again within Canada, your company website, your company email, and your Amazon seller account. Now, Jax has broken everything down in a very click by click format. So click here, click here, click here, then move on to the next stage. If you follow our instructions, you'll be compliant and good to go from day one. And it usually takes less than 48 hours to set everything up if you just follow the exact instructions that we give you within our service. Now, the main benefit for you here is when you're talking to manufacturers, they're going to respect you. They're going to take you seriously because you've set everything up in the correct way. Now, when it comes to the initial setup, is everything like, are we on the same page here?
yeah, could you just scroll back up for a minute? Um, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It's helping you with the product research, finding the right suppliers for you, scaling your business. Okay, scroll down. So I said, the main benefit for you here is when you're talking to manufacturers. Are
Yes,
we
they're
dealing with
going to respect you.
manufacturers or are
Sorry?
we dealing with suppliers? Are we dealing with manufacturers or are we dealing with suppliers?
So suppliers, it's a broad term, but when it comes down to when you're talking to the suppliers, brands, wholesalers, those are the types of people you're going to be contacting. Just overall suppliers. It depends on the product that
Okay.
you research and who's going to give you the best minimum order quantity and the best overall rates. That's what it comes down to.
So not so much manufacturers, basically, because manufacturers are the people that make it. Yeah,
Yes, so
if you know
it
what I'm
could be
saying.
manufacturers, it could be wholesalers, it could be
Okay.
brands.
Okay.
But when it
Okay.
comes down to suppliers, it's more of an umbrella term. Manufacturers
Okay.
here is just like an example, so to speak. But yeah, that's the main key point here to take away.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So before we move on, do you have any questions?
No.
No? Okay, cool. So the next stage after this is going to be helping you with product research. So this is actually where the majority of people fail when it comes to Amazon FBA because they spend months pouring thousands of pounds into the wrong products. Now, to make sure this doesn't happen to you and to make sure that you succeed and have the confidence to actually do this, you're going to get the 5-point checklist that Jats has built after years of doing this. So Jats has refined everything down to 5 simple steps. So it's very beginner friendly and to make sure that you can find the hidden gems with a proven sales history from big brands that customers already know, like, and they trust. So to make sure that you don't invest money into bad products, you're going to fill out a product research form and submit it to Jats for him to review. He'll give you his feedback, and if he believes that you found a winning product, you'll be then ready for the next stage, which is going to be sourcing the suppliers for that product. So this is what that looks like. So this is the product research form. You type in your name, So Kiran, so you type in the product link, the product ASIN, and if it meets the 5 checks, and then you submit it. Now, within 24 hours, Jax or one of our community leaders that are already running a successful Amazon FBA business, they will get back to you to either give you that green light to move on to the next stage, which is sourcing supplies, or to go back to the drawing board saying the product is bad because of X, Y, Z reasons. This is what to look out for next time. And again, this is going to be unlimited. There's no limit in terms of how many times you can submit this. And we encourage you to abuse this, especially in the beginning, as you're looking to find your first product. So when it comes to product research, do you have any questions?
At the moment, no, but yes, no, I think I do have a question.
You
So, all
sure?
right, so yeah, I think I do have a question. So we go with finding a product first, right? So once I think I find something, I will fill out this form, submit
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah.
If it's 10 products, I do that, and
If
then
it's
I will
10
get
products,
feedback.
10 forms. If it's 100
10
products,
forms.
100 forms. It might take us a while to go through each 100, but we'll get back to you. The main focus here is to make sure you find the best product as quickly as possible, especially within the first 30 days of doing this.
Right. And but this doesn't count towards a guarantee, right? Because a guarantee is when you find 50 successful products, yeah?
So
How
you
does
have
it
to
work?
have tested 50 products. So that means going through product research form, we give you the correct product to use. And it's a case of you testing that product, seeing if it's selling fast, and then scaling it high if it is. That's what counts as a test.
Okay,
Does that make
understood.
sense?
Okay, yeah,
Okay. Do you have any other
understood.
questions when it comes to product research?
Well, I told you what my challenge was. So, are there any, like, all right, so you guys would provide the 5-step checklist or whatever that has, right?
Yeah.
What's your name? May I ask?
My name is Jatinder.
And Jeff's name, what's his name?
His name is Jatin. Yes, it's a bit of a difference.
Okay. Jeff. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, cool. I was kind of confused for a second. All right, yeah. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So like my specific situation where I was having a little trouble, well, without any support, just doing it on my own. How confident are you? Like, do you think, based on following the instructions and the steps in product research, to actually find good products?
So you've seen our testimonials, correct?
Yeah, I browsed through a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the people that you've seen in the testimonials, they've used the product feedback forms, especially in the month 1 of doing this, to find the best products to achieve the results you've achieved. We heavily encourage that you use this just to make sure that you don't experience the problem here, where the majority of people do fail because they spend thousands of dollars into the wrong products that don't have any velocity, they don't sell quickly. This is what helps make sure to lower that risk as much as possible to make sure that you are going to find the best products from absolute day one so you can achieve the same results that you've seen in the testimonials. Is that clear?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Are we on the same page here?
No, yeah, it makes sense. My question actually was though, it didn't really answer my question. My question was, what my challenge is.
Yes, it was
Like,
down to product research and not knowing if you've got the right one. And this is what we ultimately aim to solve here. As I mentioned before, the main reason why people go through with our service is to go from their full-time job to doing this full time. What that requires in the middle is knowing how to research the right products and giving them that reassurance that they're doing the right thing at every step of the way. And this is what this form is for, to help make sure that you're going to find the right product, especially in the beginning, as you're still building up the experience and the skill set to do this yourself.
okay, you
Cool.
answered the question.
Cool. Okay, so it says the call is going to end here in 5 minutes. I'm just going to end the call, rejoin the call in like 20 seconds with the same